Leftover from therapy from this week's couples therapy. If you caught my leftover from therapy from last Monday, last couples therapy session, you'll know that I was frustrated because I went into that session with this like big agenda of all these things I wanted to cover, and because of my window of tolerance, we didn't really get to anything new, and I was really frustrated by that because I was like really obsessed with making as much progress as possible. And I ended up realizing kind of the hard way that I really needed to calm down and kind of let my healing happen at the pace that it's going to happen. And I need to be more mindful of how I'm balancing all of this. So, and I really feel like I've taken that in the last week. I'm still reading multiple books. I'm still following tons of therapists and mental health content here on TikTok. I'm still talking to my husband regularly. I'm still doing lots of things, but I am trying to be mindful about where my capacity is at and not just kind of like filling all of my spare time with reading more about trauma and delving into my own, and instead am kind of like asking myself if I really have the capacity. My husband and I, nothing against the spoon theory, but I don't know, the concept of spoons has just never totally made sense to me. Like, why do we have a limited number of spoons as opposed to like a limited number of forks, or I don't know, something else? We say beans. So like that's the language in our household is I have low beans, or I don't have beans for that. And yeah, so I've been better at like really checking in on my beans and just kind of noticing where I'm spending them and making sure that I'm not just like default giving all of my beans and more to therapy and healing. Because while this is super important work to me, I do need to function in other areas of my life as well. And beyond that, trying to bulldoze through healing isn't gonna work. Anyway, so the really kind of ironic but also cool thing that happened with that is that going into therapy today, I had a couple of ideas, but I didn't have like a super strict agenda of like what I felt I needed to get to today. I just kind of came in pretty loosely, and we did a whole bunch of really intense work. We got into some really intense stuff that I hadn't been able to get to before, and I strongly believe that that was possible because I came in really regulated, because I haven't been overdoing it in the days leading up to therapy. So hopefully I can like internalize that that is a good thing to do, and will continue to practice doing the pacing thing a little bit better than I had been. This is already too long. I am the worst at yapping way too long. So I'll do a whole second TikTok that will cover what the therapy session was actually about.